This week in U.S. immigration news, we are going to cover USCIS improving communication of case processing data, Schumer's Title 42 dilemma, Texas governor ready to challenge schooling of migrant children, less immigrant labor in the U.S. contributes to price hikes, CBP will disband critical incident teams, Texas educators speak out for immigrant children, the Supreme Court can decide the Remain in Mexico issue, the U.S. Immigration Agency operates vast surveillance. USCIS announced it will be simplifying and improving how it communicates case processing time data to the public. The change will promote transparency, efficiency, and customer service and will make it easier for individuals to get immediate answers on when they can make an inquiry into their case. Users now can find the processing time information regarding how long it may take USCIS to process a particular form. Processing time is defined as the number of months between the date USCIS receives the application, petition, or request and the date a decision will be issued. Processing times are a reference point, not an absolute measure of how long it will take to process a specific case. Senate Republicans are opposed to lifting Title 42 and are using this opposition as a way to force Democrats to change their strategy for passing their major legislative priorities. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer wants to hold a vote to pass a $10 billion coronavirus relief package, yet Republicans will not allow it without a vote on blocking the end of Title 42. If the Republican approach is successful, it would keep Title 42 past May 23 and would give Senate Democrats in border states a chance to vote against lifting the ban. Schumer insists he has no current plan to address this dilemma, but personally opposes Title 42 and wants it to be lifted. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said on Thursday that he would seek to overturn a 1982 court decision that requires public schools to educate all children, including undocumented immigrants, after a draft opinion that would overturn Roe v. Wade leaked last week. There has been a focus on other precedent up for debate. In 1982, the court issued a 5-4 decision to strike down a Texas law allowing schools to refuse admission to unauthorized migrant children. Since then, little has changed in the legal landscape surrounding this decision. Abbott argues the shift in the composition of the court and the increase of new migrants from diverse countries will place an extraordinary burden on Texas schools. Texas Governor Greg Abbott said last week he wants to overturn a 1982 court case that banned denying schooling to unauthorized immigrant children, because of its extraordinary expense. Texas educators have spoken out about this topic and argue the state should focus on providing a strong education for all students, including unauthorized immigrants. During a House Public Education Committee meeting, before Abbott's comments, 3 superintendents addressed how the border crisis affected their schools. None of the speakers said they faced an undue strain because of unauthorized immigrant students. Rather, 2 of the superintendents stated their districts lost enrollment over the past few years.
If you are new to our channel, welcome and please subscribe to stay in the loop. We offer free 15-minute consultations if your case is qualified, so we can point you in the right direction. Stay tuned for the secret code later in the show.
After immigration to the U.S. slowed under the Trump administration and the pandemic caused an 18-month pause in immigration, the country is now facing a labor shortage partly caused by this slowdown. It is estimated that the U.S. has 2 million fewer immigrants than it would have if the pace stayed the same. There is now a labor shortage ranging from meatpacking to homebuilding. Also contributing to supply shortages and price increases, the labor shortage is one of the several contributors to the highest inflation in 40 years in the United States. Supply chains interrupted by the pandemic and the commodity prices following Russia's invasion of Ukraine are few other issues influencing the high inflation. The Biden administration is ending its critical incident teams within the U.S. Border Patrol by the end of September, after their role was under scrutiny earlier this year. The teams handle multiple responsibilities, such as collecting evidence for CBP Office of Professional Responsibility, which handles issues arising from misconduct. The team's involvement in handling matters of misconduct has led to questions regarding how accountable the investigations are. Chris Magnus, the agency's commissioner, sent a memo out on Friday announcing the end of critical incident teams. The Biden administration agrees with Republican officials from Texas and Missouri that the Supreme Court can decide on the Remain in Mexico issue. Last month, the Supreme Court heard oral arguments on whether the Biden administration has the power to end Remain in Mexico, also known as the Migrant Protection Protocols. After oral arguments, the justices asked the U.S. government and states if a federal immigration law limits what the courts can do in this situation. U.S. Solicitor General and state officials said the law does not prohibit the Supreme Court from deciding this case. U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement has developed a vast digital surveillance system, having access to details of almost every person in the country. Researchers from the Center on Privacy and Technology released a review of the activities of ICE, showing how the agency went beyond its responsibilities and now is conducting domestic surveillance. ICE now has access to data such as driver's license data for 3 of every 4 adults, facial recognition technology from the driver's license photos of at least a third of adults, and many other types of personal data.
Friends, show us some love and smash the like button. It doesn't cost you anything. If you have an immigration problem or need a second opinion because you cannot get a hold of your own lawyer, schedule a meeting with our team. Share information with our CARES team and they will help you get scheduled with our legal team. Now here's a secret code to unlock the free 15 minutes.